Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing y'all just how simple and easy it is to cut mixed numbers in half and to double mixed numbers. Alright, but before I get into it, if you don't understand what fractions are or know what fraction is, please click on my channel name down below, Effusion Knowledge. Go to my channel, click on my videos. I post my videos in order. Okay, you'll find my fractions easy videos. Start with my first one, please, because that's where I explain what fractions are and how they work, and I start showing you how to cut them in half. Right? And then I do a video on doubling them and so on and so forth. But please, if you don't, you're gonna be confused on what I'm doing here. All right, before we get started, I want y'all to look at this, and I want y'all to write this down. All right, copy this, pause this video right now and copy this down. Okay, all right, so let's get started, and we're going to get started with a very serious mixed number here. All right, again, if you don't know what I'm doing with my fractions, please, again, watch my previous videos so you can keep up, and look at your number line, all right, that I had you write down at the start of the video. Pay attention to that number line as I'm working this, okay? Work along. You can pause at any time this video to look at what I'm doing and see what it is, all right? So let's cut this fraction in half. All right, start by cutting in half. So what's half of 3? Half of 3 is 1 1/2, right? Now what's half of 5/8? Well, we know half of 5/8 is 5/16, right? So we have 1 1/2 here and we have 5/16 here. 2/8, right? 2/16. 2/16 make an eighth. 2/8 make a quarter, right? Well, we have 5/16 here, which means we have a quarter here that we can add over here. So if we add a quarter over here, that gives us 1 3/4 plus the 16th that we have left over here. So our answer is going to be 1 13/16, right? Are y'all following along? 3/4 is 12/16. We're 1/16 higher because we had to add the 13th one in. Let's do this again real quick. Half of 3. Half of 3 is 1 1/2. Half of 5/8 is 5/16. 2/16 make an 8. 2/8 make a quarter. We can add that quarter over here, right? Gives us 1 3. I'm sorry. Gives us 1 3/4 because we added a quarter to a half. Gives us 1 3/4. Now we have a 16th. Since we took 2, we have a 16th left here, right? 2/16 make an eighth. 2/8 make a quarter. We add that quarter over here. That gives us 1 3/4. We're left with 1 1/16 here. This is 12/16. This is 13/16. So we have 1 13/16. That is our answer. Now I can prove that 1 13/16 is our correct answer by doubling it. So now we're going to double our fraction, right? We're going to take 1 13/16 and we're going to add 1 13/16, right? We're doubling it, right? I'm only writing it out like this so y'all can see it, right? 1 plus 1 equals 2, right? 13/16, 13/16, that gives us 26/16, right? we would have to take 16 into 26, right? This is a lot harder to do, so I'm going to show you something a lot easier. Okay? Let's double that fraction. All right? We doubled our whole number. Now let's just double that fraction. And I'm going to show you the easy way to double a fraction, right? We double our fraction by going 13/8. Are you following along? We have 13/8. Now we divide 8 into 13. We get 1, right? So our 2 becomes a 3. And how many are we left with? 5, right? So our answer is 3 5/8, right? let's do this all over again. I'm gonna put it all side by side. All right. Let me check my video here, make sure I got the whole board, and yeah, so I can put it all, make sure I can put it all side by side so y'all can see it all. All right. We're gonna go 3 5/8, right? Up here. All right. We're gonna cut our 3 in half. We're gonna cut this whole thing in half. We're gonna start with 3. We're going to cut our 3 in half. What's half of 3? Half of 3 is 1 1/2. What's half of 5/8? Half of 5/8 is 5/16. It takes 2/16 to make an eighth, 2/8 to make a quarter. We have 5/16 here. So we have an eighth. We have 1/16 more than an eighth, a quarter, right? We have 2/8 here. So we have 1/16 more than a quarter. So we can take our quarter from here and add it over here and give ourselves 1 3/4. That leaves us with 1/16 here. This is 1 12/16, right? So if we add that 16th, that gives us 1 13/16. Our answer is 1 13/16. Now I can prove that to be true by doubling that. So now I'm going to double 1 13/16. All right. I'm going to start with my fraction. I'm going to double my fraction. 13/8. Now I'm going to double my whole number. Now I'm going to divide 8 into 13. 8 goes into 13 once. That's going to give me a 3. And that's going to leave me with 5/8. Right? So I just proved that half of 3/8 is 1 13/16 by doubling 1 13/16 to get 5/8. Right here. Do y'all see that? All right, let's go with a smaller number, smaller next number. I started with the hard one just to see how y'all would react on that. Hopefully y'all didn't react too badly. Okay, so let's go with 1 5/8. All right. Let's cut 1 5/8 in half. What's half of 1? Half. We know 5/8 is larger than half, right? We know 5/8 is larger than half. Well, half plus half equals, that's, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm trying to double. I want to cut it in half. So our answer is going to be 5/16 right here, right? So we have half of 1 is half. Half of 5/8 is 5/16. Now again, we have 2/16 make an eighth, 2/8 make a quarter. So we can add a quarter on there. That would give us 3/4, right? 3/4 or 12/16, right? and we still have a 16th here, so our answer is going to be 13/16. We just took 1 5/8 and cut it in half. We took our 1, we cut it in half and came up with half. We took our 5/8, we cut it in half. We got 5/16. It takes 2/16 to make an eighth, 2/8 to make a quarter. We add that quarter over here, that gives us 3/4. We know 3/4 is 12/8. 12/16. We know 3/4 is 12/16. We add our 16th from here, it gives us our 13/16. And I can prove that the 13/16 equals 1 5/8 by doubling 13/16. So let's take 13/16 and let's double it. Okay? So how can we double it? Well, we can add straight across 13/16 and get 26/16, right? How many times will 16 go into 26? Once, right? So what are we left with? 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, right? 10/16, would it be 10/16? I believe it would be 10/16, right? And what is 10/16? 10/16 is 1 5/8. Seventeen, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, right? 10. Sometimes I gotta 16 and 26 is 10 because 26 is 10 more than 16. But I was counting, okay? I know if you add 10 to 16, you get 26. I was just counting for y'all to be able to keep up. So anyway, 13/16. Now, another way we could do this, all right? We could always double this fraction, 8/13. That'd be 5/8 because 8 goes into 13 once, and you got 5 left. That's 1 5/8. I'm sorry. We double that fraction. We double that fraction. How do we double? See, we cut this fraction in half. When you cut a fraction in half, you double your bottom number. When you want to double your fraction, you cut your bottom number in half. Right? So, again, we could do it the long way. 26/16, which is 10/16. 1 10/16, which is 1 5/8. 10/16 is the same thing as 5/8. I mean, they're the same number, they're just written differently. Right? But it's a lot easier to work with smaller numbers. So you could take your 13/16 and double it. Now, 8 goes into 13 once, and you're left with 5/8. Are you catching on? Let's do another one. Let's do a 2. We haven't done a 2 yet. Let's do a 2. And let's see. Okay, let's do an 8. I don't think we've done any 8s. Have we done any 8s? No, we just did 5/8, didn't we? So let's do a 16th. Let's do a 11/16. 2 and 11/16. All right. We can cut the 2 in half. Gives us a 1. 11/16. 11/16 is larger than half. How do we know? Because 8 is half of 16, right? But we're just going to cut this fraction in half. So we're just going to go with 11/32. We just cut our fraction in half. We just cut this whole mixed number in half. We cut that in half, and then we cut this in half, and there we go. Our answer is 1 and 11/32. Now, how do we know 1 and 11/32 is half of 2 and 11/16? Well, we can double it. We can do it the long way. Right? We can say 1 plus 1 equals 2. 11 plus 11 equals 22. And then we can have 22/32, right? What's 22/32? 2 and 11/16. How do we know? Well, because we can double it the easy way. 1 plus 1 equals 2. And then all we got to do is cut that bottom number in half, and we are back to 2 and 11/16. That is how you cut and double fractions. It's so easy. I mean, mixed numbers. How you cut and double mixed numbers. Okay, so let's go with 4 and let's say 7/8. 4 and 7/8, right? We're going to cut this in half. All right. So we're going to have 2 and 7/16. Look, it's 2 and 7/16, and I can prove it. We can prove it. We can do it the long way. We can double it, right? We can double this. It equals 4 14/16. Two goes into 14, 7, 16, 8, right? These are the same number, just written differently. It is 4 and 7/8. Look at your number line, right? Now we're going to go, oops. We're going to do it the easy way, the simple way, right? We're just going to go, okay, we're going to double it. We're going to go 4 and 7/8. That's how quick and easy it is to double it, because all we got to do is cut that bottom number in half to double that fraction, right? I mean, we doubled it to cut it in half, so we cut it in half to double it. Are you keeping along, keeping up, catching on? Again, so simple, so easy, right? I believe, again, you can rewind this video, stop it, pause it, do what you need to. Well, I hope you liked and enjoyed that video, and if you did, please hit the like, subscribe, and share, and notification bell. It would help me out greatly. And remember, knowledge is a good thing. Truth in knowledge is an even better thing. And true knowledge, that's power.